long-standing building. I spoke with the owner, Jude Burton, who says they were hitting their 11-year anniversary this coming February. He also said that he plans to rebuild and reopen sometime in the future. Now we're going to head over to Penelope Lopez in Indian Bayou for some more tornado coverage. Penelope, what's going on over there?
Thank you, Anna. And we're seeing a similar scene right here in Vermilion Parish, specifically Indian Bayou. If you look right behind me, there is just this hood that just smashed this windshield. And we also have a golf cart right here that is just sandwiched in between these cars right here. But what's even more interesting, if you take a look right next to me, this looks unrecognizable. But this was actually a house. Now, I spoke with the owners off camera, and they told me at around 9:30 in the morning, he was in his mobile home with his dog when he heard a loud noise. He immediately jumped up, and naturally, you call your mom. When he came out, this was the picture he saw, wood scattered everywhere. You know, I asked the owners in the house if the house was occupied, but he told me no. They were actually trying to figure out what to do with the property. But it looks like Mother Nature decided for them. Fortunately, no injuries were reported. They're all okay. They're really just trying to pick up the pieces. In Indian Bayou, I'm Penelope Lopez, KATC TV3.
For real-time updates on the weather in your neighborhood, make sure to download the KATC TV3 weather app. You can find it free in your mobile app store. Election day is here. We've reached out to clerks of court offices across Acadiana to check on how things have been running this election day. So far, no major issues or out-of-the-ordinary events have been reported at the polling locations throughout the parishes. The polls close at 8 p.m. Your Lafayette Parish reporter, Christina Mondragon, is out at one of the polling locations now, taking a look at things. Christina?
Jasmine, I'm here at Ernest Gallet Elementary School ahead of the Youngsville Chief of Police election. As you can see behind me, there's people waiting in line to vote, checking in and heading to those ballot boxes. And they tell me it's their duty to vote. And whoever wins tonight, they just want their city to be in good hands. I'm Christina Mondragon, your Lafayette Parish reporter, telling you a little bit more about all three candidates running for the position. Reviewing your sample ballot is an essential step before heading to the polls. It allows you to familiarize yourself with all the candidates, ensuring you make an informed decision before you enter the voting booth. To find your sample ballot, visit the Secretary of State's website at sos.la.gov. Click on the link that says View Your Sample Ballot, enter your information, and you'll have access to all the candidates on your ballot, which helps you make an informed decision.
You have a duty to educate yourself, and you need to be prepared before you go into the voting precinct. We have a lengthy ballot, and we want the voters to be prepared.
Now, KATC is your election headquarters, so stay up to date by checking out our webpage at KATC.com. For now, I'm Christina Mondragon, your Lafayette Parish reporter for KATC TV3. Jasmine?
Voters nationwide will join the 82 million Americans who have already cast their ballots in the 2024 election. The race for the White House took an unconventional route, ending last night with each presidential candidate in different battleground states. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest from the White House.
It has been a campaign trail unlike any other, navigating through assassination attempts, a change in the Democratic ticket, the potential for history to be made, and a deeply divided country in charge today of deciding who leads it. Today, millions of Americans are making their voices heard.
What brought me to the polls today is I think my vote counts.
Joining the tens of millions of people who cast their ballots early. Vice President Harris said she mailed her ballot in as running mate Tim Walz voted early in person. And today, former President Trump and his running mate J.D. Vance went to their polling places.
I think that we're going to win. I really do. But ultimately, the voters make that decision. We'll see what they think about this by the end of the day, hopefully.
Last night, Trump spoke to supporters in battleground Michigan, pointing to the economy and the southern border, saying the country is going in the wrong direction. He then drifted into the dark, personal attacks that have laced his message in recent weeks. His latest target, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the first woman to hold the position.
She's an evil, sick, crazy. It starts with a B, but I won't say it. I want to say it.
In the 107 days since launching her campaign, Harris focused on access to reproductive rights and tax incentives for the middle class. In her final rally in Pennsylvania, she leaned on her celebrity supporters to drive voters to the polls, from the Roots to Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, and Oprah. Harris continued her closing strategy to not mention Trump by name. Her campaign says she's trying to end on a positive note as she delivered remarks on top of the so-called Rocky Steps in Philadelphia.
And here at these famous steps, a tribute to those who start as the underdog and climb to victory.
Tonight, Trump's campaign will be set up in West Palm Beach, Harris in Washington, D.C., at her alma mater of Howard University.
That's what my focus is right now today, I must admit, which is making sure everybody knows the power of their voice through their vote.
And Dixville Notch, New Hampshire has a nearly 60-year tradition of voting in person at midnight, which all 6 of their registered voters did. The results? Trump 3, Harris 3, a tie. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, the White House.
Now let's take a look at our state races, starting with Congressional District 3 seat. In that race, you can see it's between incumbent Clay Higgins and Democrat Sadie Summerlin. Our Paris reporter Paris Flanagan is here in Lafayette covering this race. Let's check in. Paris? And in District 4, that covers Evangeline Parish here in Acadiana, House Speaker Mike Johnson is running for re-election against Joshua Murat. We'll keep you updated throughout the night on this race. But for now, let's take a look at another big race in our state that many here are following, the District 6 seat that is currently held by Republican Garrett Graves. There are 5 candidates in this race: Peter Williams, Wilkins Jones Jr., Cleo Fields, Quentin Anderson, and Albert Guillory. Right now, we have our Powers reporter, Angie Toussaint, who is live from Cleo Fields' watch party. Let's check in. Angie?
Jasmine, we're less than 3 hours away from the polls closing down in Louisiana. I'm actually here in East Baton Rouge, where Louisiana voters are not only electing the next president of the United States, but they're also choosing the next congressional representative in a constitutional amendment.
This is a historical election.
The rain couldn't keep Deborah Wheeler away from voting.
I vote all the time.
Deborah joins millions of Americans casting their vote in this historic presidential election. I traveled with photojournalist Blake Blanchard to East Baton Rouge, where constituents are also voting in a newly redrawn congressional district. Louisiana's 6th congressional district has 5 contenders, including 4 Democrats: Senator Cleo Fields, businessman Quentin Anderson, Peter Williams of Kaplan, and Wilkins Jones Jr. They're up against one Republican candidate, Opelousas native Albert Guillory. Constituents are also voting on a constitutional amendment which would determine whether funds from renewable energy or alternative energy can be put into the state's coastal production and restoration fund.
We've had roughly 30% of the precinct vote actually by the machines. Now, I don't know how many early voted, but we've had at least 30% of the registered voters in this precinct come in and vote.
Jasmine, and I can tell you this polling station here has been pretty busy, and we expect that momentum to continue until the polling station closed down. Now, I'll be joining you later from one of the watch parties here in East Baton Rouge and bring you the reactions. Angie Toussaint in East Baton Rouge for KATC TV3.
And just a reminder that electioneering is not allowed within 600 feet of a polling place. This means you cannot wear any campaign or political items, including but not limited to T-shirts, hats, buttons, or other visible candidate names or slogans. The Registrar of Voters Office is reminding voters that they are not allowed to carry a gun into a polling station on voting day. For more information on what you should know, visit our website at KATC.com.
Election Day finally here, and more Americans turn to David Muir in World News Tonight than any other newscast. The race a dead heat with so much at stake. Turn to David Muir and the team this election night. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir, the #1 newscast in America.
Fun and friendly, loose and easy. Take me back to Cypress Bayou.
Join us for the Fall into Cash giveaway at Cypress Bayou Casino. Saturdays, November 9th through 30th for your chance to win $5,000 cash at 6 and 10 p.m. Play at Cypress Bayou today.
Fun and friendly, loose and easy.
Enter KATC's Black Friday Shop Local Sweepstakes. You could win a great prize from one of our sponsors, Spa Maison, Thibault Firm, and Honey Baked Ham. For official rules and entry, visit katc.com/contest.
Do you have Medicare? Or will you soon be enrolling in Medicare? Call right away to request this free booklet. It's called 3 Things to Consider When Thinking About Your Medicare Options. This free booklet from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana will explain the important things you need to consider when comparing or choosing your Medicare coverage. And you can get it now with absolutely no obligation. Just call the toll-free number on your screen. We'll also send you a free Medicare decision guide with information about how you can get a Medicare Advantage plan for as low as $0 per month. This coverage could give you over $2,100 in benefits next year, with a flex card to pay for certain healthcare expenses, and $57 back into your Social Security check each month, plus a combined dental allowance that includes dentures. You have until December 7th to make your Medicare coverage choice for 2025. Call 1-833-492-0474 now.
Stay connected with the free KATC app. Breaking news alerts, big stories, weather alerts, and newscast. Download the KATC app today.
Welcome back. Well, it was a busy day in the weather lab across Acadiana. So it was a couple of severe storms producing tornadoes from anywhere from Vermilion, Acadia Parish on northward into Evangeline Parish this afternoon. Mainly this morning. This afternoon, activity is wound down a bit, but we still have more showers in the forecast. Then we're going to have to deal with the tropics. We'll talk more about that in just a bit. First off, though, let's get over to the Key Wall, back to the west. It's chilly, it's cold, it's snowing from the mountains of New Mexico all the way up into the Rockies. Meanwhile, we're dealing with a frontal boundary that is back to the west of us, but it is well away from where we're seeing the showers and thunderstorms across the region. So that's one of the things that we do have going on here. And here we go. We see the pretty strong storms still up towards central Louisiana, more to the southwest. But let's just go back earlier this morning. There were 2 tornadic reports. One here by the Indian Bayou area. We haven't gotten a preliminary on that, but the Basile one, 95-mile-per-hour winds. You can see how concentrated they were with that local business, and there were 3 injuries. Fortunately, none too serious, but nonetheless, yesterday we were looking at today, very low risk of severe weather, and it was mainly west of our area, but that's the way Mother Nature works sometimes, and we had dew points in the low to mid-70s. The atmosphere juicy, juicier than it ever is in November, and that's why we had the strong to severe storms across the region. The one poking through the northern portion of Avoyelles Parish is pretty intense right now. That's moving away from our region. Scattered activity still in the northwestern sections of our area, and very intense storms offshore. Now, if these line up and move inland and don't move a whole lot, there could be some locally heavy rainfall. Still can't rule out severe weather, but I'd be more concerned with locally heavy rain. Nonetheless, we'll keep about a 40% chance of showers and storms in the forecast locally overnight tonight through tomorrow. You see that enhancement on that activity offshore. Meanwhile, we go out into the Caribbean, and we have a tropical storm that is starting to look like a hurricane. Rafael has been intensifying. It's now up to a strong tropical storm and could be upgraded to a hurricane come the 6 o'clock bulletin. The bulletins update different now since we're in standard time, very unusual. So it's going to be 3, 6, 9 p.m. with updated tracks coming at 3 p.m. and then at 9 p.m. So a different time scale now. 70-mile-per-hour winds moving to the northwest at 15 is expected to become a hurricane, cross Cuba, and then it may pick up a little bit more in hurricane intensity in the southeastern Gulf, but then as it gets farther north, it's going to be weakening significantly down to maybe a 45-mile-per-hour tropical storm right now threatening southeast Louisiana, but there is a lot of forecast track uncertainty beyond, say, right around this point. Could go off to the northeast or it could go farther to the west. Bottom line, we could get some weather out of this, but we're not concerned that we're going to be impacted by a big hurricane or big winds. Look at the graph model following right along almost exactly to the T where we have it through the next 72 hours, which is south of Mobile. This is Friday at noon. So let's bring in the GFS model, which closely matches the graph model right now. Same general location. Then what happens beyond that? Yeah, it starts moving toward the coast, but it also begins to weaken and get sheared apart. So what's that all about? Let's take a look at the upper level winds. Compare that with the forecast track. And right now, you can see areas of blue. There's not much wind, but then we get into these colored areas. So there's going to be plenty of wind and shear going on as this approaches the coast. So we're not overly concerned with this system, but we can't rule out some threat of heavy rain, some gusty winds. We'll see how it plays out, but no reason for concern that we're going to be hit by a hurricane or a major hurricane or anything like that. So scattered showers staying with us on and off through the overnight hours. There's your 40%, then more activity possible tomorrow in spots. We'll probably have less coverage than today. Thursday looks to be a quieter day overall, and then we head toward Friday, and we'll be watching the outer rain bands that may try to come in from Raphael by Friday afternoon. 74 the overnight low tonight, so staying warm and humid. Few storms possible, mainly western Louisiana. Then for tomorrow, we'll make it mostly cloudy, some sun, but there'll be some scattered showers and thunderstorms around and about. We'll go with rain chance at about 40% tomorrow. Southerly winds not as strong as they have been over the last couple of days. As we move forward, maybe some Raphael tropical showers in the region Friday, Saturday most especially, then possibly Sunday. Thereafter, quiet and looky here. A good-looking cold front a week from tomorrow should bring us into the 40s and 50s at night. We hope, fingers crossed. That's it for weather for now. We'll have more coming up in just a little bit.